máa ń pákéjì ní ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ a tún ti dé láàárọ̀ yìí náà nù ní orí ìkànnì wa ní àyín Adámimógo 107.7 FM nílùú Ìdó Èkìtì gẹ́gẹ́ bí kejì mi ti sọ kì í ṣèròyìn mọ́ pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa náà ló sì ti gbọ́ pé tó bí ìpani nípa ẹ̀sìn bó ṣe lọ láwọn apá àbí kan ní kan ẹ̀yìn ló kọ sí ẹlòmíì pọ̀lọpọ̀ náà ìgbésẹ̀ yìí dá pé kàn tẹ̀ wá bá wa lé wọn léré kábàkábẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ sì ń sọ pé wọ́n bá sọ pé yóò mọ̀ lẹ́yìn àjà àti orin ìwé kan tá a kọ́ ńgbà tá a wà ní primary school pé yóò mọ̀ lẹ́yìn àjà àwọn kan faramọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé irú ìgbésẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé yóò lẹ́yìn kódà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ sọ gan pé àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè kọ̀ọ̀kan tírú ìgbésẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà dán fẹ́ gbé ìrí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ká lọ wo ìpadà sí wọn léni pé ó fẹ́ dà gẹ́gẹ́ bíi pé ẹni a ní kó wá wo gọ̀ọ̀bì tó wá débi tó èwo ló tún wá ṣe gọ̀ọ̀bì léyìí tó túmọ̀ sí wípé bóyá bí ìdá bíi 10 ni ìṣòro wọn wà tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ní wọ́n wo ilé ìpè bọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwa lè máa fojú wò pé nǹkan ó tún dánmọ́ pé ṣùgbọ́n ìpadà sí rẹ̀ bí ìpadà bọ̀ abìjàwàrà ni ìjọba àpapọ̀ náà sì ti fọ̀rọ̀ lóde pé èyí ò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé àwọn gan náà wọn ò ní gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ìdóyin ayé gúúsì.
Let's take it far back to when the president changed the service chiefs. Many said that it was because of the alleged coup that was happening and all of those things. But the presidency came out and said it is a move geared towards addressing the security situations in the country. And that is why the president is saying that, please, give us a little more time. Let us solve the problem, and because we have done this. Now that the narrative now that the genocide narrative is coming out, many people have said it is not true. Many people have said, though there are insecurity challenges in the country, but then it is not as bad as it is. There is no Christian genocide in the country. And there are those who have raised implications as to the coming in of Trump, his invasion or intervention, as you may put it, to the country, saying he wants to come and address the insecurity challenges. Many have also raised concerns about the interest. Many said it is not to address insecurity, but it is the interest they have, the Western world have, in the resources of some African nations. That is why all of those things are coming. And they also raised concern as to, recently Dangote said it is going to expand its production capacity, which is going to be the largest in the world. Many have also said that these moves that is one of the things that triggered the Western world, and it would some kind of way affect their sales of oil and all of those things. Say it is by interest. However, many also believe that the coming in of Donald Trump will also put the government on check. Will tell them or will make them to do the needful. The insecurity challenges that has been in the country in the past couple of years now, and they have failed to do it. Maybe with this threat now, maybe the government will now see the need for them to address all of these concerns. All of those things are put together, and would we'll just keep our tabs and keep following the event as they unfold, because it is now an international thing. The whole world is now concerned about Nigeria. And when you look at the body language of the presidency, the presidency is I don't know, they seem to be very assertive, determined that there is no need for external forces to come into this country. They believe that the problem of the country can be solved within the country. But many also think that, like I said earlier, if the government have failed to solve these problems, then they will give room for external forces to come and solve them. What do you make?
Daoyin Ayegusi okula kai so pé nígbà mi bí inú ilé bá ti rí nígbà mi a máa jẹ́ kí ara àta ó mọ̀ wọ́n ní bí ògiri ò bá lanu ní aláǹgbá ò lè wọnú ògiri tó túmọ̀ sí pé nígbà mi bí inú ilé bá ṣe rí ó lè bí àríwísí ara àta.
Definitely.
Àyè bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni bínú ilé bá ṣe rí ó lè ṣùgbọ́n tèmi kàn mọ̀ ní wípé kò sí ìjọba náà tí bó ti lè wù kó rí tó náà fẹ́ lajú ẹ̀ wípé kí ètò dàbí pé bóyá kí ìjàgùdù gbọ́n mi sí omi ò tó kíní kó mọ̀ wá. Kò sí ìjọba tó náà mọ̀ fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò sí ìjọba tó lè aláwọ̀ ara àta náà tó lè fàyè gba ara àta pé bí nǹkan ṣe ń rí nítorí pé ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ nǹkan lèèyàn mọ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ àti pé tabari àríwísí tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń sọ náà ó fẹ́ dàbí pé ibi tí ọrọ̀ ajé Nàìjíríà lọ torí mo ka kinní kan láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n wá gbé síbẹ̀ pé lọ́dún 2017 tí ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ààrẹ àná lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tó lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n nígbà tí ààrẹ Donald Trump ńgbà náà tó wọ́n bá a sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní ó gbóṣùbà fún ààrẹ Buhari pé tọ̀ ó ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ nípa pé tọ̀ ó ń gbógun ti ìwà onísùnmọ̀mí nígbà yẹn pé ṣùgbọ́n bí tọ́rọ̀ lè rí pé àwọn èèyàn tó wá fojú wo ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn pé pẹ̀lú bí ọrọ̀ ajé ṣe dàbí pé bóyá nǹkan tó wá ń yàtọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ pé kí ló dé tí Donald Trump sọ ńgbà náà wípé àwọn fẹ́ wá ńgbà tó yẹ pé kúkú rí Buhari ní ojúkorojú sẹ́wọ̀n gbọ́ mi yé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó wá gbé ní apá àbòmí wípé àbí ó ṣeé ṣe pé bóyá pé àbí wọn ò rí ààrẹ Tinubu kìsàpò.
Definitely.
Torí mo mọ̀ wípé.
You see, that narrative is
not. Torí mo bá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ pé àbí torí pé wọ́n rí pé àwọn torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ sí ìrìn àjò ààrẹ Tinubu látìgbà tó ti gorí àléfà pé bí kò lọ sí China kò lọ sí pé France ṣe pé kò tí ì sígbà kan tí ààrẹ Tinubu lọ sí ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà pé ó wá dàbí pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí wá mú àwọn Amẹ́ríkà ló pé bí ìbá ṣe pé àwọn ẹni ní bọ̀jọ̀bọ̀jọ̀ lápá àwọn táwọn jẹ́ giant of world pé ó ṣeéṣe tí wọn ò fi tàwọn náà ṣe pé ó dàbí pé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ dóyin.
I've also seen that. I've had that. In fact, a couple of conversations I had about this matter yesterday. I spoke about 5 persons on this matter yesterday. And what majority of them seem to tell me is that President Tinubu has decided not to be, in their own opinion, said that President Tinubu seems to be alone, decided not to be, unnecessary familiarity, ally, relationship or ties.
Tó sì túmọ̀ sí pé bóyá ní àpadà sí rẹ̀ ó lè mọ̀ sí nǹkan kan tí ó.
Yes, and he has decided to do his thing on his own. And when you look at the speech of Vice President Kashim Shettima at the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, he said that he solicited for the Palestinian-Hamas war, and he called for peace and all of those, interventions, claiming that Africa should have a seat, and all of those things put together. Many have also highlighted that these are the reasons why, Nigeria is becoming a target to the Western world. However, it is not in our opinion, it is not in our power to so we are following up the event. So on today's edition of the show, we'll be talking about politics, and we'll be looking at how political parties, relate with each other, plans and some of the interventions they make, as political season approaches. 2027 is right behind us here. 2026 is even at the door already. Just in the next few months, couple of days, we'll enter 2026, and Ekiti State or Osun State would have, electoral activities going on. So, what are the preparations? INEC has a role to play. Security agencies have their role to play. Political parties have their role to play. So today, our focus and attention will be on the roles of political parties as they get prepared for 2026-2027 elections. So joining us this morning is the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC chairman in Ekiti State. He's also the chairman of the Youth Progressives Party in Ekiti State. He's seated with us in the studio this morning. He will be helping us to have this conversation, bringing us up to speed as to some of the latest development and some of the things we need to prepare our minds to ahead these electoral processes. Again, I say is the chairman, Youth Progressive Party (YPP), and the I beg your pardon. He is the chairman, Young Progressives Party (YPP), and Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) in Ekiti State. Mr. Owola Daramola is seated already in the studio this morning. Good morning and welcome to the follow-up.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Apologies once again. It should be young, not youth. However, both are the same. The young, the youth is just, the difference in what. Thank you once again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
YPP is a party. IPAC is a party. IPAC is the body that covers the all political parties. Now let's begin with IPAC before we go into YPP. The simple and straight question I would first like to ask you is, how has IPAC, what's the we hear little about IPAC in Ekiti State. What's the latest with IPAC? What are their interventions? What are the things that they've done most recently, especially as we see political season gearing up? What are the latest activities and interventions being carried out by the council, the advisory council?
Yeah, IPAC is, like you have rightly said, Inter-Party Advisory Council. It's a council that actually is the umbrella body of all political parties in Ekiti State. And then there is National IPAC that covers all political parties in Nigeria. We have 27 registered political parties now in Nigeria. And out of these 27, 25 are under the umbrella of IPAC. And IPAC is the only recognized, constitutional recognized umbrella body that covers all political parties. So far, you would have seen that we at IPAC, we have actually made sure that the governance era were uninterrupted, no distraction, so that the governor or any politically elected officer would have enough time to focus on governance. So at that level, that's why you have not been seen campaign going on in the states right from the beginning of this administration. And we try as much as possible to follow the Electoral Act and to make sure that all the political parties under the umbrella of IPAC do not actually in any way cause any distractions to the government of the day, do not in any way criticize destructively to any governor of the day. So what we do is, if there are issues that we need to resolve, we resolve it. There are issues we have with the government, we go through IPAC to communicate with the government. And if there are issues from the community that the government will have to look into, at that level of IPAC, we communicate with the governor directly.
So has there been interventions? Because the reason why I'm asking is other political parties have openly criticized the ruling party. Other opposition political parties have openly criticized the ruling party of some certain things that they feel the ruling party and its government has not done properly. So, and you said you have done, you have spoken through IPAC, you have spoken to the government of the day as to do this. So can you give us a few examples of some of the things that you've done, these interventions?
Yeah, let me first of all point this out. You will realize that right before this primary era, there was no issue in Ekiti State as per political parties. Unlike before, that right from the election, swearing of a governor, you see other political parties, other people disturbing the state, campaigning all over the state. You see that did not happen in this administration. And that is because IPAC had been very, 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 very upright in their duty. But there are lots of issues that have actually bothered among the political parties, like that we have actually intervened at that level. You see, when there are issues between two political parties, let's take, for example, we have defections going on right here and there. It might not be two party except that the two SDP lawmakers have actually decamped or APC, and I think there were no issues between those two political parties. But if there were issues, we could have actually intervened. in checking what is happening and how to resolve it amicably. Then two, there was a time that most political parties were probably about to criticize the government about this BEDC that they are charging arbitrarily, and they are not metering, and at the end of the day that they are bringing in estimated bills to all houses. We actually communicated with the government to let them know that, look, this is what is going on, and political parties are not happy that the government is not doing anything. And you could realize that if you go to a NEPA office these days, you will get your meter at a very low official procedures. So those are areas that we have done our part in the past.
Ẹ kú ohun àlejò wa, sálàfíà lẹ́wà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí Adamimogo 107.7 lórí ètò ọ̀rọ̀ tí ń lọ láàárọ̀ yìí. Ìbéèrè tí mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín ó ní pé àjọ IPAC, àjọ tí ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo òṣèlú, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni, tabaníkà wò láìpẹ́ yìí bí ọjọ́ bíi mélòó sẹ́yìn, kí ni àjọ IPAC lẹ́kìtì, kí ni àríwísí yín? Torí pé bàbá wo bí ọjọ́ bíi mélòó sẹ́yìn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ADC wọ́n fi ẹ̀sùn kan ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ADC pé tọ́ àwọn fẹ́ ṣe bí ìwọ́de ìta gbangba ìfi àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ lọ́lẹ̀, pé àwọn sì wá wòye pé báwọn ti wojú ọjọ́ ó dàbí pé ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC ló wá ṣe àkọlù sí àwọn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn tí wọ́n fi kan ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC. Ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí àjọ tí mójútó gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní Nàìjíríà, kí ni èrò yín sí eléyìí láti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ sí ogúnmi òtẹ̀mí?
Actually, kò yẹ kí ọ̀rọ̀ primary or at this stage pé kó tí ì fà pé kí party méjì máa jà, nítorí pé presently party tó sì di candidate sì ò tí ju party APC, AC, party tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti ṣe primary tiwọn. So tí candidate ò bá ti sí ní party kan ta ní àbájá, so ìgbà tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí ṣẹlẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àjọ IPAC àbá chairman ADC àbá sọ̀rọ̀ Honorable Ọmọláyọ̀ àdè kàn sí àwọn APC náà, but ṣe mọ̀ allegation sì ni àwọn APC wọ́n làwọn ò mọ̀ kankan nípa ẹ̀, àwọn ADC àwọn ló máa mú evidence jáde pé nǹkan báyìí ni. So nǹkan táwa lè ṣe ni pé ok, àjọ ọlọ́pàá ẹ bá wa wo kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀, nítorí pé àwa náà ò gbé kámẹ́rà sí anywhere àkàmọ́ àwọn tó ṣiṣẹ́.
Nígbà míì bí òṣèlú bá ń bọ̀, àsìkò ìdìbò wà, àsìkò ìpolongo wà, àsìkò ìfi ara hàn lójúlé sójúlé wà, gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbèdéke pé àsìkò báyìí ẹ̀ ti tó láti mọ campaign. Àmọ́ ní bí ọjọ́ bíi mélòó kan sẹ́yìn ìròyìn gbàgbóró kan pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní Nàìjíríà pé ọdún 2027, torí pé gbogbo nǹkan ní mọ̀ ní ètò pé ọdún 2027 ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ pátákó àjúwe, mo kàn fẹ́ ká gbé láti lẹ́lé ni mo kàn fi ti òkè fi ṣe àpèjúwe ni pé ọdún 2027 ó sì jìnnà, ọdún 2026 ó sì jìnnà, pé láti máa fi èròǹgbà hàn lásìkò yìí pé ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó sì tó tètè yá kánkán tẹ́yìn náà bá gbọ́ pé àjọ IPAC láti mọ sẹ́kẹ̀ǹbẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú wọ̀nyí, àbó níbi tágbára yín dé ni.
Ṣe rí ẹ ti rí i pé àwa ti pariwo ní àjọ IPAC ti pẹ́ pé àwọn kan ti ń campaign, adẹ̀kọ́ lẹ́tà
tí ó sì yẹ kó rí bí àbí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni adẹ̀kọ́ lẹ́tà sí INEC, adẹ̀kọ́ lẹ́tà sí INEC pé gbogbo there are billboards all over the state, and then gbogbo programs tó ń ṣe tí ò kì í ṣe inú party office pé ó lòdì sí
òfin
Electoral Act. Adẹ̀ ti pariwo ṣe mọ̀ pé gọ́vnà ó ní immunity, ariwo la lè pa, so tábà dẹ̀ ti pariwo tí kò bá sí nǹkan tó ṣe sí, tábà lọ bá wọn nǹkan tó dẹ̀ sọ fún wa kò sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe sí. Wọ́n ní àwọn tó ń gbé pátákó síta, wọ́n ní pé kì í ṣe pátì ló ń gbé síta, pé àwọn èèyàn ló ń gbé síta fúnra wọn tó fi show their loyalty
sí àwọn
to them. but àwọn fúnra wọn ló yẹ kán sọ fún gbogbo àwọn náà party chairman ló yẹ kó pariwo síta pé
àsìkò tí ì tó
ẹ̀yẹ wo president ó ní kí èèyàn kankan bá bá òun lẹ billboard.
ààrẹ wa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
ó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní kẹ́nìbọ̀dì má bá òun lẹ billboard kẹ́nìbọ̀dì má bá òun polongo nítorí pé kí ni ó mọ̀ pé àsìkò ìpolongo kò tí ì tó kò dẹ̀ so àwọn tó bá ti polongo fún ló yẹ kó pariwo síta fúnra wọn ṣe rí ibi tẹ́ bá ti rí logo party tẹ́ rí picture aspirant tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ọdún tó fẹ́ ṣe election bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti di campaign nǹkan tó fi sọ.
ó dà káwa ní èmi bí mo ṣe wà bí àpẹẹrẹ ni o irú ọ̀rẹ́ mi Dòyìn Ayébùsì bóyá ọkàn bíi gbé ayẹyẹ ọjọ́ ìbí wúrúwúrú kan kalẹ̀ sẹ́ńpẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ olóṣèlú náà àtúmọ̀ lórí èyí náà ó kàn gbé ọjọ́ ó pè mí ó pe àbúrò wa tó dún wájú ó pe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ẹ wá bá mi ṣe ọjọ́ ìbí o àádépáyé fìlà ẹgbẹ́ àmú akáṣífù ẹgbẹ́ àádébẹ̀ àátúmọ̀ fi bí lógò ẹgbẹ́ hàn pé kéne kan ṣùgbọ́n tí irú yín bá débẹ̀ wọ́n sọ pé ayẹyẹ ọjọ́ ìbí làwọn ń ṣe irú yẹn kí lẹ̀ rí ṣe sí.
campaign náà ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe rí òfin ó lágbára gan tí anybody bá gbé gbogbo fọ́tò tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ yìí tó bá yà á tó bá ṣe tó bá gbé lọ sí court òfin oníbàyẹ̀ rò pé birthday náà sọ fìlà torí àti logo party tó wà lórí ẹ̀ òun ló máa náwó sí pé ó ti ṣe campaign so campaign ní gbogbo wọ̀nyẹn ṣe rí ìrẹ́jẹ ló fẹ́gbẹ́ ìrẹ́jẹ ló ń tu ẹgbẹ́ nígbà tí òfin sọ wípé 150 days to election ní ìkànnì àlè campaign nígbà tó fi sọ fún pé aspirant ò lè campaign candidate ló lè campaign tí ẹnìkan dẹ̀ ti rí i pé torí pé agbára wà lọ́wọ́ òun tó dẹ̀ ń campaign for that period ní gbogbo ìgbà tó fi ní kọ́má campaign yẹn ẹ mọ̀ pé ó ń lo agbára ni.
kó tó di pé Dòyìn ń bọ̀ kó tó di pé ń lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Dòyìn ṣé kò sí òfin tó báàkì ẹ̀yìn pé tọ̀ ẹni tí ó bá ti kọjá bá a ti fi lọ́lẹ̀ ntí òfin tí a fi gbé IPAC lẹ̀ ntí ó dúólé lórí ni ṣé òfin ò gbé ẹ̀yìn kalẹ̀ àbí.
IPAC kò lágbára láti ṣe ohunkóhun IPAC ní agbára láti kọ lẹ́tà sí wọn IPAC lágbára láti kọ lẹ́tà sí INEC tí political party kankan bá gbérí pé ẹni báyìí ti ṣe IPAC lè support irú political party bẹ́ẹ̀ IPAC máa ti kọ lẹ́tà sí wọn pé political party báyìí sọ pé ẹ ti ń campaign ṣáájú
tí ó dẹ̀ tí
tásìkò which we have done tó jẹ́ pé àti kọ lẹ́tà sí IPAC tí anybody bá wá gbé wọn lọ sí kóòtù sí IPAC lè witness ẹ̀ pé yes lóòótọ́
pé torí àwa náà ti kìlọ̀ síwájú
torí wọ́n máa padà wá pé ok ṣèbí láàrin ẹgbẹ́ yìí kí ló dé tẹ̀yìn ò sọ fún wọn ẹ understand INEC ló yẹ kó pè wọ́n kó sọ fún wọn INEC náà dẹ̀ sọ pé kàn lọ mú evidence wá so any political party tó bá feel pé wọ́n ti campaign before election political party bẹ́ẹ̀ la lọ sí court ilé ẹjọ́ náà lè lọ because òfin ni electoral act.
tí ẹnikẹ́ni ó kàn lọ rí ṣe ìjẹ́rìí pé tọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí ní tòótọ́ Dóyin ìbéèrè ti jẹ́.
I want you to help us clarify on something. You know, you made mention of something the other time that probably because somebody feels he has the power, he can do this, do that, and do that. But we've seen opposition parties who have also openly endorsed and openly said that they want to do this, they want to do that. Take, for instance, the ADC activity that was attacked, and they want to do their internal, their executive, they want to inaugurate and all of those things. We've also seen the coming in of some other aspirants within some other political parties, opposition political parties. We've also seen activities, birthday, like he talked about. So I want you to also clarify on the issue of those who feel they have power, they can do this and do that, because we've seen such activities among other political parties. And I also want you to also reiterate on the question he asked about specific interventions that the IPAC is doing to, curb all of these things, because it appears that the IPAC is inactive if we are to put it in perspective, because at the end of the day, many would say that they've not seen any interventions being done so far.
Yeah, IPAC is just an advisory council. IPAC can only advise. IPAC can only advise political parties against any act of illegality. IPAC can only come in when there are disputes within among political parties.
So there is no certain rules or regulations or guidelines?
We have electoral acts. Electoral acts, that's section 94, states clearly that campaigns are restricted to 150 days before the election day. So when you have this law in place, and anybody campaigns ahead of the election, at IPAC you don't have any power to stop or to probably ban or to disqualify. It is only the court of law that can interpret that law. So if anybody actually feels otherwise, they take it to court. So it is the court that has that power. But we can just advise and say, okay, if they have been campaigning before election, then look at the SDP you referred to. ADC that you referred to. ADC were actually within the confine of their political party state headquarters. They wanted to launch their office, they wanted to launch their campaign office, and they wanted all the activities were resisted to their campaign office, which is still normal. Throughout the year, any political party has the right to go into their political party and do things, but you cannot do town hall meetings. You cannot do town halls, any town halls activity.
Well, we've seen several of that among some PDP members and all of this.
I've not seen any town hall activity within PDP. I've not.
Oda àlejò wa alága ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí alága YPP ní Èkìtì pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn pẹ̀lú èròǹgbà àwọn èèyàn ẹgbẹ́ YPP lẹ́kìtì ṣé ẹgbẹ́ wo ni tún jẹ́ bá lè tó túmọ̀ sí pé wọ́n ń wo ẹgbẹ́ YPP gẹ́gẹ́ bíi pé ó yẹ káwọn náà ó wà ní iwájú káwọn náà ó ti yọ sí kí wọn ó ti yọ sí bọ́ńbọ́ kí ni èrò yín pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ǹjẹ́ yín náà ń ṣe takuntakun láti jẹ́ pé ẹ jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kan gbòógì tí ó jẹ́ gbajúgbajà àbílẹ̀ lélẹ̀ kan tí ń fẹnu sípa ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní àwọn náà àti pé pẹ̀lú àjọ IPAC bó ní ẹ ṣe ń ṣe méjèèjì tí ń gbọ́ pé ọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin olóṣèlú ẹ ṣe ń tó tọ́ ẹ má ṣe ń tó tọ́ lẹ wà fún pẹ̀lú òṣèlú náà tẹ́yìn náà sì tún ń ṣe lẹ́yìn ẹgbẹ́ kan náà bó ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe ń tí ò fi kọlu ra wọn.
mo jẹ́ IPAC chairman nítorí pé mo jẹ́ chairman political party kan. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe election.
Wọ́n máa ń rotate ẹ̀.
INEC election wọ́n máa ń dìbò ní. Wọ́n rotate ẹ̀. Láàárín gbogbo political party tó bá ti wà gbogbo chairman yẹn.
wọ́n tún lè fún alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú mi tó bá tún yá.
Tenure mi second tenure ni mò ń lò lọ́sìn by early next year máa parí second term and 2 terms péré ni. So èèyàn kan ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀ kí n tó débẹ̀ then ibi náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ń sìn. Ní party YPP
ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú yẹn
ẹbí ò lè jẹ́ IPAC chairman kó jẹ́bi náà ni màmá rúfin iṣẹ́ lọ gidi gan èyí lójú nǹkan tí àsìkò tí òfin bá ti sọ pé
kẹ́kẹ́ gbórí jáde
abáṣe primary tiwa náà ṣe you understand but nǹkan tó fi sọ ó di pé gbogbo ẹ̀ kó jẹ́ àárín àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ yìí
kó jẹ́ bí inú ilé
àárín àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ YPP láti máa ṣe primary náà láàrin wa àgbéyàn jáde the last election aṣàgbéyàn Débọ̀rọ̀ tí Àjàyí kò sẹ́ni tí ó mọ̀ Débọ̀rọ̀ tí Àjàyí nígbà náà nítorí pé ó campaign he was actually the best candidate nígbà yẹn but ẹgbẹ́ tiwa àwọn nǹkan kan wà táwọn ò kì í ṣe it is against the law of the constitution of YPP kì í pín owó à ń ṣe dìbò síbẹ̀.
Are there political parties that do that?
ṣẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú means.
Well, we are all journalists bẹ́ẹ̀ kárí ní news ẹ máa gbọ́ nínú arrest pé wọ́n arrest ẹ tó gbówó dání lọ síbi àwọn èèyàn ló ń ṣe igi ṣàkọ́ ló ń gbé yìí wọ́n lọ sí campaign ẹ tó bá wà ní Nàìjíríà á sì tó bá lóò gbọ́ dìbò kó ṣe bẹ̀rí irọ́ ló ń pa.
bí ìgbà tó wáyé pé ìjọba fi ń lara àlù lọ́yẹ̀ ní.
ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ fún yín
láyé
àtijọ́ ìbò kant ìkan tó bá ti fẹ́ ló ń kọ láyé ìgbà tó ń ṣe àpàdà àpótí ìfẹ̀dẹ́kò whatever but ayé èsì tó ti ń lo NIN tó ti ń lo fingerprint táwọn bá ràbò wọn ò ní rig nítorí pé kí ni number of accredited registered voters tó bá ti wà ní polling unit òun náà máa kà so the only thing tó ń lè ṣe ni pé popular whatever ó yá gba 10,000 yìí dìbò yìí fún wa to get majority but tíjọ́ tí ṣẹ́ni tó ti dìbò òsèlú bá ti kúrò nínú òṣèlú Nàìjíríà gbogbo àwọn policy tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Tinubu ṣe, I'm not in APC, but all these policies tó ṣe they are good policies. But if you go down to the states, most of these policies don't shake were affected in all the states, and it is bad governance that is leading to that. When we have good government, when you see, I always say something. Àdúgbò tẹ́ ẹ gbé, ẹ tó jẹ́ chairman àdúgbò yẹn kò ra position yẹn. That is why you have the best person on that street. But ṣe ọdún tó bá ti ta ìbò 4 years ló fi ta vote yẹn, nǹkan tó bá dẹ̀ ti ṣe. So bí mo reason táwọn èèyàn ṣe lè gbójú kúrò nínú.
Ẹ wá jẹ́ kí n béèrè.
Let me just ask for a follow-up question. What is IPAC now doing?
Nípa
stop vote buying.
That is exactly what I've just done to sensitize people and tell them vote cards. The moment you collect money to vote, you have sold your right and you have sold your vote.
Ṣé ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lásán lẹ́yìn sí nàbí ó ní òfin tó tún lágbára ju ẹni tẹ́ bá ti gbá mú o bóyá ẹ fà lọ́wọ́ agbófinró lọ́wọ́.
Òfin wà anybody tó bá ti mú ẹ̀wọ̀n ni kì í ṣe kiri.
Ṣé ẹni tó rà
àtẹni tó rà in fact ẹ máa rí Anambra election tó ń bọ̀ yìí ẹ lọ wò kó tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Àtẹni tó ràbò àtẹni tó tàbò ẹni tó bá ti gbówó dání àtẹni tó ń ràbò àwọn méjèèjì náà máa jail nítorí pé kí ni Nàìjíríà láti dà. So àtọlọ́pàá tó wà ń bẹ̀ tó witness ẹ̀ gbogbo wọn náà máa gbé. Do you understand? Because in some situations ọlọ́pàá ló máa dúró sí ẹnu ọ̀nà polling booth ṣé ẹ gbọ́ mi tó máa acknowledge pé yes ó ti di ẹ̀fún lówó. So àti gbogbo wọn yẹn là ń fight against nísìn kò sí àyè gbogbo wọn yẹn mọ́. Kúbíkù INEC it is for you and your vote. So ẹ jẹ́ kí èèyàn wọnú bẹ̀ kó lọ vote fún anybody that feels yes campaign ìkan tó fẹ́ ṣe sọ ìkan tó ti ṣe rí sọ ìkan tó fẹ́ sọ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn kan decide who is going to be again.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹgbẹ́ yín ti wá rí ìyẹn ẹgbẹ́ YPP ẹ̀rí pé tàbá ní káwọ ẹgbẹ́ alátakò lẹ́jẹ́ ní Èkìtì ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP náà àti ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ADC náà ǹjẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀ ń wò ó bí a bá fi apá kún ìtàn ẹ̀ràn àmọ́ tó pín pé pẹ̀lú bá a ṣe jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ YPP yìí o bóyá ká wá ẹgbẹ́ míì tó tún jẹ́ alátakò tí wọ́n tún gbóríyìn jù àwa lọ ká lẹ̀ mọ́ wọn kí bàbá ṣẹ̀yọ́ sójú kan yóò fi ráàyè hó dáadáa pé tọ́ pé ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tí ń ṣèjọba lẹ́kìtì tó jẹ́ bí APC pé àyín náà a fẹ́ gbénáwó wọn lójú àbí ẹ fẹ́ dúró lórí ọwọ́ ọtí.
ẹgbẹ́ YPP ò lè ever bá wọn ṣe àpapẹ́.
So you cannot merge.
ẹ lè darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́.
àpapẹ́ ló ń ba gbogbo nǹkan jẹ́ ideology wa ní YPP ó yàtọ̀ sí ideology wọn ní ADC ideology ADC ó yàtọ̀ sí ti PDP ṣẹ́rẹ́ ẹni tó wà ní PDP tó ń endorse governor tó ń endorse candidate APC àpapẹ́ ló ń ṣe. Are you with me, sir? Whoever is in YPP is in my party and endorsing somebody in another party, you understand? His interest is in that party and there will be a particular reason for it. Let him go to that party. You can't be in YPP and say you want to support ADC. No, ideology is yato. That is anti-party. It is purely anti-party. So ara ko to da Nigeria do to dem ba politics wa je no diye. In fact, I won't lie to you. There are people like that. There is a past governor in this state that is in a political party and endorsing another party's candidate. His party is supposed to suspend him. I don't know why. And it's all maybe he should go and resign. So, but do you see that is so people can if people look see one of the disadvantages of all this is that all the past governors all whatever they are in APC except one of them. So they can support their candidates. But if you are a PDP and you go to support APC candidate without joining them, it is anti-party.
So anti-party is a major concern. It's a major problem within political parties in Nigeria. It is not just it is not something that is just happening, and it is not just in Ekiti State, across the board. So from the IPAC level, don't you think it is time for IPAC to come up with a certain arrangement that gives proper punishment and attention to those involved in anti-party activities?
We await the House or the National Assembly to pass it.
Okay.
So you have proposed a certain bill.
Yes. If you are in a political party and you want to cross carpet, you lose your position. Unfortunately, there was a judgment last week. A judge actually asked a member of House of Reps to probably relinquish all his position and pay back what he has taken, because you cannot take, he is defective to APC. You cannot take all those votes that they have voted for you in that political party and take it to APC. So leave those people that have voted for you in their party, leave them with their vote and their position. So go to APC and go and start afresh. So I think Nigeria is getting there gradually.
And do you think that will solve the problem? Because defection is one, anti-party is one. When you look at defections, most of the reasons why those who defect say they defect is because of the internal crisis in the party they belong, which is also a right to them to leave that party.
That is the only reason that the constitution allows you to defect.
Those who are defecting from, say for instance, PDP now to the APC, are they not doing the right thing in their in the interest of the?
If you resign properly, and join that party properly, it is okay.
You will retain your position.
Yeah, defection is okay. Cross carpet is okay. You can change your mind and decide to go with their own ideology and policies. Yes, you have the right to. But in the situation whereby you do not resign from your political party and you are leaving that your ideology to go and support somebody else's ideology, that's not defection, that is anti-party.
Ẹsẹ̀ kan lé ẹsẹ̀ kan ta.
Yes.
Àlejò wa ẹ jẹ́ wá béèrè ètò ìdìbò ń bọ̀ lẹ́kìtì ní gẹ́gẹ́rẹ́ tó tí ò ní pẹ́ tí ò ní jìn ní ọdún tó ń bọ̀. Kí ni ètò tí ẹgbẹ́ YPP tí wọ́n ní fún ètò ìdìbò ọdún 2026 tí ń bọ̀ yìí? Ṣé ẹ ń rò láti bọ́ sí gbọ̀ngbọ̀ pé ètò òṣèlú tí ń bọ̀ ẹ̀yin náà fẹ́ kópa àbí bò ní ẹgbẹ́?
Àti ẹ̀ máa kópa ni tẹ́ bá wo àwọn states tí YPP tó ti ní èèyàn ẹ rí i pé látijọ́ tí Fáyù bá ti di senator ní Anambra ẹ rí i pé ṣe ló ń gain more momentum. They are gbogbo House of Reps. Do you know why? Service to the people. The party tiwa, when you are going into government, you are not going there as a leader. You are going there to serve. Our party is supreme. Do you understand? So whatever you do there, it is going to be decided at that party level. So kì í ṣe pé tó bá ti lọ wà wá débẹ̀ tán wà ní ìwọ ní ọ̀gá gbogbo èèyàn. No, nǹkan tá a ti là sílẹ̀ pé ó lọ ṣe ni wà lọ ṣe because wà á padà wà á jẹ́ ààbò. So you are serving, you are a servant. But in some political parties in the past, whoever is serving automatically becomes the leader of the party. He is supreme to the party, is supreme to the executives, is supreme to the whole party. It's not supposed to be so.
Why? He's holding the power.
No. When you are in position of authority, you are serving.
Of course, yes, he's serving. But he is he as a leader, I believe, because he is serving, he has some certain resources at his hand and everything.
Constitutionally, the chairman of the political party in the state is the leader of that political party in that state.
Is that how it should be, or is that how it is?
That is the way it should be.
It's one day, Baba.
So whoever is in a position of authority from that political, maybe you are a senator from that party, you come back to that party to give reports of your activities.
Baby, ta ran Ọlọ́run.
Ìkan tí mo ṣe lọ́hùn rí, iṣẹ́ tí mo jẹ́rìí. Ṣé you understand? Your manifesto does not even supersede the party's manifesto. But in Nigeria, if you can see that since 1979, you realize that you don't come with your money and say you are a billionaire, you want to know. They will contribute money. They can take a teacher from a secondary school. They can take a nurse. They can and say, okay, well, a fellow. And they will all support. At that time, it is like they teach you politics as if you are going to school. All these words, they are all necessary. But these days, it's not like that. A money bag will just come from abroad and say he wants to be governor, he wants to be, and bring billions and start to campaign. And everybody will be awaiting because he's coming to do see and buy. So we have to campaign against that. It is somebody you know, somebody with credibility, somebody you can trust with taxpayers' money, somebody that can be transparent, somebody that is accountable. That's the kind of people we want in governance. If that happens, Nigeria has the resources. There are so many countries that I've been to that I will tell you that they don't have as much resources as they have in Nigeria, and they still have good government. Some countries depend on just all these Baileys, stout, Irish potato, Irish cream.
Let's talk because of our time. Let's talk governance a little bit. I want to believe that you are aware of some of the things that is happening in the country. Trump is saying he wants to come and intervene in the insecurity situation in Nigeria. and the presidency have said that there is no genocide. So all of this put together, what's your opinion? What do you make of it?
I have reservations towards that. When the insecurity in Nigeria was very, very, very high, thanks that we needed these people, where were they? Did they come? So why is it that Nigeria is now being rated as a stable country? Our economy is becoming better, and then why is it that at that time is they want to come? So for now, let them wait, let them see. Nigeria's economy is rising. If you see the dollar is no. If you don't sell your dollar today, tomorrow you must lose lots of money because because Naira is appreciating daily. Do you understand? So most of this is, and if you can see the way agriculture is actually being improved in Nigeria, we are less dependent on foreign countries. Petrol also, we are less dependent. So Nigeria economy is now booming gradually. So I don't think any country should come and distract or stop that growth now. Let it could be slow, but we'll get there.
Ẹ wá já padà wá sí Èkìtì, tá bá wo ìṣèjọba Bíọ́dún Àbáyọ̀mí Oyèbánjí tí wọ́n jẹ́ gómìnà wa lẹ́kìtì lénìí, kí lẹ lè sọ nípa ìgbéléwọ̀n láti bí ọdún bíi 3 sẹ́yìn tá bá ní kéèyàn ó gbéyàn sórí àtẹ, kí ni ìgbéléwọ̀n tí ẹ lè fún gómìnà Bíọ́dún Àbáyọ̀mí Oyèbánjí pàápàá jùlọ nípa ètò ìṣèjọba lẹ́kìtì tèmi, ṣé a sì ń tẹ̀ wájú ni àbí ejò ti wọ́kùn bí tàná?
Ejò ti wọ́ because ìgbà tí Bíọ́dún Àbáyọ̀mí Oyèbánjí jẹ́ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ gómìnà yìí ní Èkìtì, ó ṣe dáadáa. Nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀, ó ṣe dáadáa. Gbogbo àwọn tó bá pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, ó ṣe dáadáa. But at a point, everything tó pé kò tiẹ̀ most of the policies, most of the things tó ń ṣe dáadáa lórí tẹ́lẹ̀ ó abandon ẹ̀. Maybe because ó kúrò lórí governance ó bọ́ sórí politics ni, and at that time.
Bí èwo bíi mélòó lẹ lè tọ́ka sí níbí lọ́hùn-ún tẹ́ lè tọ́ka sí pé àwọn dàbí pé gómìnà bí ṣe ń ṣe ó ti dàbí pé ó ti yàbàrá kú bó ṣe ń ṣe bọ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀.
Ok, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe example kan. Àwọn tó ní lock up shops wọ̀nyí wọ́n fún wọn palliatives at the point pé bí Nàìjíríà ti le tó gbóná tó yìí, fún yín palliatives so that ìyà yẹn kò ní really pọ̀ lára àwẹ̀ yìí. But only same set of people yìí after some time ó sì ẹlòmíì inú wọn sọ pé òun sọ tax mẹ́ta for different taxation. As of 5,000, as of 4,500, as of 5,000. So now irú àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n wá ń pariwo pé ìyà ń jẹ wọ́n, ara ń ni wọ́n, èrè orí ọjà wọn tax ló fi ń san. So wọ́n tó fún palliative at the time to help tó wá tún dé pé wọ́n wá tún gbé tax lé wọn lórí. Just okay, recently wọ́n ní Èkìtì ló ní highest IGR.
Owó tá à ń pa wọlé lábẹ́lé kan.
Wọ́n ní Èkìtì ló ní highest. Ẹ̀yin ò tiẹ̀ rò ní pé Èkìtì báwo lè Èkìtì ṣe fẹ́ ní highest. Àwọn Ògùn state gan tó ní industries oríṣiríṣi, Nestle wà bẹ́ẹ̀, Liver Brothers wà bẹ́ẹ̀, Protein and Global gbogbo wọn wà bẹ́ẹ̀, gbogbo industry àgbára ìdájú wọn wà. Àwọn ò ní IGR tó high. Èkìtì tó jẹ́ pé ó ní lock up shop, ó ní driver tó wá kótó, ó ní ọlọ́kadà náà ti ń gba IGR náà ní highest. Ẹ rí i pé nǹkan tó jẹ́ káyé máa ní àwọn èèyàn lára nìyẹn. Bí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé bí àgbà lọ́wọ́ mẹ́rin ni, because tí wọ́n bá sanwó wọn á fi àgádágodo wọn á fi tíṣọ́ọ̀bù wọn pa. Ẹni tí o tẹ́ bí pa tẹ́lẹ̀ tí o dèrè tó tún tíṣọ́ọ̀bù ẹ̀ pa tó tún lọ yáwó tó tún fi san tax tó tún doṣù tó bọ̀ ṣé báwo lè bí o ṣe ní parú ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ kó bá lọ fẹ́ owó school san bá lọ ṣe fẹ́ owó lé san. All these are things tó yẹ kó governor yẹn kó consider. So when he started he was people's governor, but now he's past governor's governor.
Many will say that. Many will say that an individual, probably a governor, cannot solve all of the problems in a state or in an environment or in a society or in a state or a country. Let me just put it that way. However, we've had conversations with most of the government officials, and they've highlighted so many achievement interventions, agricultural interventions, employment of youth into agriculture, and interventions, human capital development, the fixing of roads, the revitalization and rehabilitation of general hospitals, which they believe is part of rendering services and bettering the lives of people. And the what other one did they mention the other time? The Onje Ekiti Hub, where farmers have to sell their produce to the state government, and they buy and they resell and all of those things put together. Many would say these interventions are some of the major highlights of this government, and would want to question why those who are in the opposition, especially those who are critics of the government, are not seeing it that way. It marked, this administration is just 3 years, and there were several commissionings, there were several commission of road infrastructure and all of those things. So why are you not seeing it, seeing things from that direction?
Do you know the price of rice in Ekiti now? If government is buying from farmers and they are selling, and they have actually empowered people to go into farming and plant rice, do you think that the price of rice will be the same as that of other states? Do you know about, do you know in Lagos they don't plant yams, they don't have that, they will partner with other states, and they do you know yams is even cheaper in Lagos state than Ekiti as of today? So where are those now? You have invested hugely on the agriculture. Where are the products? How much do they sell pepper in the market? Go and, are you not Ekiti people? Go outside there and check. Where are the corn? All the lands that were cleared with billions of naira. Where are the products that is coming from those lands? So it is not just coming to the studio or going into the newspaper to write things. These are things we want to see on the streets of Ekiti. You are talking about roads. The reason why I came late here is because the roads between Ifaki to this place is so terrible. So all this, you have to consider it.
ẹ já sí ojú òpó lẹ̀ kó má jẹ́ pé mi àti ìdòyìn náà là á mọ̀ gbàlagbà tún gbà torí àwọn ará ilé náà wọ́n lè níbèrè kan àbí bíi méjì. 07047007701 07047007701. Hello, ẹ kú ojúmọ́, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta. Hello, ẹ ti wọlé o. Tíyẹn ò bá lò. Hello, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta o. Ẹ ṣe àdúpẹ́ o.
Akíta wá láti YYET. Wẹ́ agbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ, ṣùgbọ́n ìbéèrè kan tẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn yẹ tẹ ní gómìnà wa ṣé ó ń ṣe dáadáa ni àbí báwo ló ṣe lọ síwájú àbúṣe bákan. Ó di dandan fún gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà láti máa san kí náà porúkẹ. Owó orí tó dán ni láti máa san, tó ó ṣe pàtàkì. Everybody gbọ́dọ̀ máa san. Gbogbo alamọ bí nǹkan ṣe rí ní Nàìjíríà, bí nǹkan ṣe wọ́n tó ní Nàìjíríà. Torí tábà fi ọmọ wí ọmọ, mo máa ń sọ ní gbogbo ìgbà, tábà fi ọmọ wí ọmọ àánú kọ̀ọ̀kan. Lájọ́ tẹ̀mí ti ń dìbò ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, gómìnà eléyìí ó yàtọ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn tí ó ti ń ṣe, torí àríṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe, àrí gbogbo kan tó ń ṣe. Ó dẹ̀ tó wá jẹ́ olójú àánú ni, kì í fojú pààyàn rẹ̀ rárá tán. So ó gbìyànjú dáadáa, so ó try, so ẹ jẹ́ ká commend ẹ̀, ká dẹ̀ support ẹ̀.
Ẹsẹ̀ ẹja fẹ́ràn mi láǹfààní 07047007701 tàbí 07072766270. Hello, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta o. À ń gbọ́ yín o. Ẹ ṣeun.
Ọlọ́run kó ṣàánú everybody.
Àmín o.
Ẹ̀sẹ̀ ní lóòótọ́ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ó tra iṣẹ́ gidi ló ṣe. Dandan náà dẹ̀ ni kéèyàn sanwó orí. Ṣùgbọ́n dádì tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn, bí wọ́n ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ wípé àwọn tó fowó ra ìbò wípé kò lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ nígbà tó bá yá, lẹ́rí kọ́nà kó wáyé ni. Bí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ yẹn gbà tó bá wá tí ó bá dìgbà tó fẹ́ dìbò, ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn náà wọ́n á tó máa kò sí bó fẹ́ ṣe ní Nàìjíríà tó ṣe wípé wọn à ní mọ̀ rí àwọn tó fowó ra ìbò. Because bọ́n ti sọ pé kò sí bí security tètè tó ẹ̀ ti rí àwọn kẹta sápamọ́ sí ilé ibì kan tí wọ́n á mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n á mọ̀ fi ṣe. So jẹ́rí ọ̀pọ̀ yẹ tí wọ́n bá lè ṣe kó minimize dáadáa. Lórí ìgbà tó ń kó bá wa Nàìjíríà jù nìyẹn lé ní báyìí.
Ẹ ṣe ajá fẹ́ràn mi láǹfààní 07072766278 07072766278. Hello. Ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta o. ẹ ṣeun ó kọ yín bó ẹ ti ń pè wá.
orúkọ wa ní sẹ́yìn láti dùn.
láti Ìdó Èkìtì à ń gbọ́ yín o.
nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tí ọ̀gá wa wájú sí àdúgbò tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ. nípa tí owó orí yẹn náà tọ̀yàn máa san orí bọ̀ owó orí téèyàn sọ ti pọ̀ jù. owó orí nígbà tó bá bu orí lọ́nà mẹ́ta lọ́wọ́ èèyàn kan ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù kan ní kọ̀ǹtínà tó jẹ́ pé ó ń struggle láti rí owó ta ọjà lọ́dẹ̀ tó rẹ̀ san táàsì ọdún 45,000 naira pé gan gbogbo rẹ̀ ti kọ̀ǹtínà kí wàá ní bálò kíni gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì àdìmọ́ láìpẹ́ owó orí yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. àwọn nípa tí gómìnà tó sọ pé bóyá wọ́n ṣàbíọ̀n iṣẹ́ báwọn ṣáà lóòótọ́ wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ takuntakun náà ṣe ṣùgbọ́n dé tábà wo allocation tó ń wọlé sí Èkìtì iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe òótọ́ allocation tó wọlé sí Èkìtì ṣe. so fún ọkọ bá wọlé náà pé aspect ìwé kan ẹ̀bùn àwọn
all right thank you so much.
Hello last caller. Hello. ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ ta o. ẹ ṣeun ó kọ yín bó ẹ ti ń pè wá. láti ẹ̀fọ̀n. àgbọ̀ yín.
gómìnà ó ń gbìyànjú tó tọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ó sì kù díẹ̀ káàtó àwọn owó tí wọ́n san yẹn tán bá rí ìjẹ́ díẹ̀.
All right. Thank you so much. IPAC chairman, sir, as we wind down, as you make your final remark, there is the issue with task, which I also want you to respond to. Many said that it is one of the responsibilities any Nigerian would have to do as a citizen, paying task and all of those things, that it is probably not too much. I want you to respond
tabasi wo náà láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó gòkè àgbà wọ́n ní àwọn owó orí náà làwọn náà fi ń jẹ́ nǹkan ní orílẹ̀-èdè wọn.
But at a very reduced rate that will not affect economy of the people. You see, owó orí ọ̀nà mẹ́ta lórí ṣọ́ọ̀bù kọ̀ńténà bí ẹnìyẹn ti sọ ó ti pọ̀ jù. There are some go and check how much is their income. Ṣé mo pé kánọ́tì ẹ̀ kí n wo papers wọn kọ́ máa wo documents wọn kọ́ wo iye tó ń pa but wọ́n iye tó bá ti wù wọ́n estimated ni wọ́n á kọ́ sọ pé ẹ lọ sọ 20,000 account government wọ́n á dẹ̀ ti ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọn pa kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹlòmíì ò pa 20,000 naira lóṣù.
All right. We must thank you so much for your contribution this morning and for your time on the show this morning. We've been speaking with the chairman, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC in Ekiti State, is also the chairman, Young Progressives Party, YPP, Mr. Owola Daramola, who has been having conversations with us this morning. Thank you for your time on the show this morning.
ẹ ṣe tá a pè yín alérò pé bàbá pè yín nígbà míì ẹ̀ tún jẹ́ wa àwọn ọmọ lọ lélẹ̀ ní lápá àbí títí ọ̀la tí a tún máa pàdé láago 11 ìyálẹ̀ ta lórí ètò yín ètò wa ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó ń lọ Jamiu àbọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ mi ń jẹ́ o ẹ̀mọ̀ ìyá sẹ́ńbẹ̀.
Oladoyin Ayegbuse is my name. The news at noon comes next. Good morning.
ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM. Ìdó Èkìtì, the voice of the light.
ADAMIMOGO Asideot area.
but Nigerian army has taken custody of King of the
Get ready to dive into the latest headlines,
Nigerians deported from the United
in-depth stories, and breaking updates that matter to you.
To face the challenge, to be able to fulfill the dream and the aspiration.
From local events to global affairs, we've got you covered. Stay with us as we unravel the stories shaping our world today. This is ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM News.
It's noon. Good afternoon and welcome to Global Books, your quick tour bulletin around the world on ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM Ido Ekiti. Here are the top stories. Presidency refutes report of Tinubu's planned visit to US as Trump threatens military invasion. Tanzania president sworn in as passengers remain stranded at airports. Turkey inflation eases to lowest level since 2021. Details of these and other stories in a moment. I am Folawumi Olaniyan. Now the news in details. The Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on Media and Publicity, Temitope Ajayi, has dismissed the report claiming that the president is scheduled to visit the United States tomorrow for a meeting with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance. Ajayi, in a post via his official X handle, described the report as false and misleading, saying it has fueled unnecessary speculation and uninformed commentaries. Ajayi added that if President Tinubu were to visit the White House, he would be meeting with President Donald Trump and not the Vice President. This clarification came after reports claimed that Tinubu is set to travel to Washington for top-level diplomatic engagement amid heightened global attention on the alleged persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has distanced himself from a viral social media post linking him to comments allegedly mocking United States President Donald Trump over his recent threat of military action in Nigeria, describing the statement as completely fabricated, malicious, and reckless. The clarification was contained in a statement issued in Abuja by Akpabio's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, SMA Eibu. The controversial post had quoted Akpabio as saying that the killing is taking place in Nigeria, not in USA, and that Donald Trump should focus on US and that Nigerians are not complaining about the killings as they are fully satisfied with the condition of Nigeria. In his reaction, Akpabio's media aide denied ever issuing such statements. In the meantime, the United States President Donald Trump has said the U.S. military could deploy troops to Nigeria or carry out airstrikes to stop what is called the killing of large numbers of Christians in the country. Trump made the comments as he headed back to Washington after a weekend at his vacation home in Florida. Trump had earlier threatened to take military action against Nigeria if Africa's most populous country fails to crack down on the killing of Christians.
They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. So we're not going to allow that to happen. And we only need 5 Democrats. They have a lot of Democrats. We only need 5. But the Republicans have voted 14 times to open the country.
Meanwhile, reactions have begun to trail the development as some, like the director of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, Dr. Sam Amadi, has said that Trump's comments over alleged religious persecution reflect the country's failure to uphold its own constitutional and moral responsibilities.
The U.S. government decided to prioritize protection of religious freedom in the world as part of their foreign policy commitment. The U.S. cites you for violation of religious freedom. Perhaps you're no longer a country of preference. And so this is totally within the domestic policy. This is not like it's a foreign policy, but within the domestic power as a country.
However, former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani has faulted the United States President Donald Trump's threats of military intervention in Nigeria if the alleged genocide against Christians is not stopped in the country. Away from Nigeria but still in Africa, Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan has been sworn in for his second term amid tight security. The inauguration ceremony is being held at a military parade ground in the capital, Dodoma, in an event closed to the public. Recall Samia was declared the winner on Saturday with 98% of the vote. She, however, faced little opposition, with key rival candidates either imprisoned or barred from running. In her victory speech, Samia said the poll was free and democratic and described the protesters as unpatriotic.
We thank the security apparatus for ensuring that all the chaos witnessed did not alter or stop the election process. The incidents experienced, especially around cities like Dar es Salaam, Arusha, Mwanza, Mbeya and Songwe, were unacceptable, uncivilized and unpatriotic.
International observers, however, have raised concerns about the transparency of the election and its violent aftermath, with hundreds of people reportedly killed and injured. Still in Tanzania, hundreds of passengers have been stranded at Tanzania airports after President Samia Suluhu Hassan won the country's election with more than 97% of the vote. Domestic flights were all cancelled and some international travelers were unable to retrieve flight details due to unavailability of internet. Several countries, including the United Kingdom, the United States and Canada, have advised their citizens against traveling to Tanzania after the country's general election last week was marred by violence. Demonstrators took to the streets of major cities to protest the poll and stop the counting of votes. The military was deployed to help police suppress riots. Global Box is reaching you live from ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM. Still to come, Turkey inflation eases to lowest level since 2021. Stay with us.
Hello, great people of Ekiti State and beyond. Are you planning a private event, political meeting, family gathering, club meeting for 50 to 100 guests? Look no further. Introducing the ADAMIMOGO Event Hall, your perfect venue, located right inside the Olojudo Palace compound at ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM, to Ekiti. We offer spacious and clean environment, ample parking space, tight security, media coverage, and publicity on our fast-growing and social media platforms. All of these at an affordable rate. To book or make inquiries, visit us today at Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call 0803 526 5812 or 0916 340 0878. You can also call 0806 511 4430 or 0806 380 8891. At ADAMIMOGO Event Hall, your event, our pride.
You're welcome back from that break. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel via ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM. For happenings around your news and inquiries, please call 0915 786 8095. Now to the rest of the news. US President Donald Trump has alleged that countries including Russia, North Korea, Pakistan and China have conducted underground nuclear tests unknown to the public, while noting that the United States would follow suit. The announcement came in the wake of Russia saying it has tested a new nuclear-powered cruise missile and a nuclear-powered and nuclear-capable underwater zone.
It had to do with others. They seem to all be nuclear tested. We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing. We've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
Meanwhile, China's foreign ministry denied conducting nuclear weapon tests. Trump's Energy Secretary Chris Reed Chris Wright has downplayed that the United States is planning to set off a nuclear explosion, noting that the tests are system tests which are called non-critical explosions. Turkish inflation has slightly eased in October, reaching 32.87%, its lowest figure in nearly 4 years after rising for the first time in more than a year. Meanwhile, the annual figure experienced a slight rebound in September to 33.29% after 15 months of decline, with the increase mainly affecting food and housing prices. Turkey has experienced double-digit inflation since 2019, making life increasingly more expensive for millions of people after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan ordered interest rate cuts in a bid to spur growth. Israel air raids have been reported in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. The death toll in the besieged enclave has risen to 236 since the ceasefire was agreed. 2 Palestinians, including a teenager, have been killed in attacks by Israeli forces and settlers in occupied West Bank. Hamas hands over the bodies of 3 more captives after a complex search operation in Gaza City. And on sports this afternoon, Nigeria's para-badminton star Eniola Bolaji has pulled out of the Polytron Indonesia Para-Badminton International 2025 in Solo, Indonesia, yielding the final to world number 1 Sekuero Ikhtiar in the first set. Recall Bolaji won silver at Indonesia Para-Badminton Tournament. Playing in her 6th final of the year, Eniola was poised to add another gold to her growing collection this year. For her exploit in the women's singles SL3 category, she has been honored with the 2024 African Women in Badminton Award in recognition of her achievements and journey in para-badminton. That's Global Box on ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM, Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti. Before we go, the highlight again. We told you that the Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on Media and Publicity, Temitope Ajayi, has dismissed the report claiming that the president is scheduled to visit the United States tomorrow for a meeting due to the military threats from the country. We also informed you that Tanzania President Samia Suluhu Hassan has been sworn in for a 2nd term amid tight security. And finally, we reported that Turkish inflation has slightly eased in October, reaching 32.87%, its lowest figure in nearly 4 years after rising for the first time in more than a year. That's Global Box this afternoon on ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM, Ido Ekiti, as edited by Adeshola Samuel. My name is Folawumi Olaniyan. Good afternoon.
This is ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM. Ido Ekiti, the voice of the light.
ADAMIMOGO Asideot area.
We've got your music fix right here. Let's get the party started. ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM, where the city meets good music. Keep the dial locked.
One Nigerian musician who has gone full
circle. 7 FM brings you the news that matters. Unwind, relax, and enjoy the perfect blend of good music on ADAMIMOGO 107.7 FM. Ido Ekiti, the voice of the light.
smiling. #1 capital for poverty. Got our independent 1960. Most corrupt and bad leadership. No human right, no justice. Poverty, they celebrate terrorism. Professor, they work for illiterate. Unemployment on the replay. Most of guys at the top, no get certificate. Chinese doctor don't escape. Our health minister no know where they did. God bless our health workers. We they represent on the front line. Nigerians are suffering and smiling. It's time for Nigerians to wake up. Biafra say they won't break up.
But we go back up. Forget your sorrow. Yeah, we overcome. Ojoro dande, but we go back up. Ojoro dande, but we go back up. Our people say be funny, oh yeah. They go they complain plenty, oh yeah. But when it reach them turny, oh yeah. They say go do so funny, oh yeah. Money don't growing, and it don't they fly like la ba la ba la ba la ba la ba la ba la.
Dollar and a 400 naira. When will dollar equal naira? Why will they borrow from China? Just to service our budget. Lack of proper direction. We need economic revolution. If the poor man no go feel sleep, I swear the rich no go feel sleep. Leaders with a share coconut tree. Now their own head with a good brick. God, they say you be lazy youth. Election time, they go use you. Music don't they lie. Make you just stay jam. As we they try survive.
Country hard, but we go back up. Forget your sorrow. Yeah, we overcome. Ojoro dande, but we go back up. Ojoro dande, but we go back up.
Biafra say they won't break up.
Country hard, but we go back up. Forget your sorrow. Yeah, we overcome. Ojoro dande, but we go back up. Ojoro dande, but we go back up. Our people say be funny, oh yeah. They go they complain plenty, oh yeah. But when it reach them turny, oh yeah. They say go do so corny, oh yeah. Our money don't growing, and it don't they fly like la ba la ba la ba la ba la ba la ba.
Dollar and a 400 naira. When will dollar equal naira? Why will they borrow from China? Just to service our budget. Lack of proper